What is up, guys? Sibling Story Productions here, and today we are going to be looking at a toy battle between the 2019 Disney Store Woody and the 1999 original by Thinkway. Let's begin.
J Squad.
You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. When the road rough ahead and you're miles and miles from nice warm baby.
So first we're going to look at the holster. Now the holster on this is very off proportion to the body, and the gold isn't as good as the gold on this one. It looks pretty much the same here, but this is like more gold and polished, but this is more yellow. I like the yellow better for some reason, I'm not sure. And it has like a little metal piece there. Comparing the holsters, they both have metal pieces, but honestly, the holster, this one looks more proportioned here than this one because he's more like overweight looking. I don't know how I could say that, but anyway, first point goes to the Disney Store. Next up, we're going to be looking at the belt. Now, the belt on this one, I do like the color of this better than the color of this. This looks too dark to me. But the overall belt shape and size, this one looks a little bit wonky because it's a little bit big. But I think they needed to do that for this Woody since he's a little bit padded and big. But this one is more slimmed down, and that's what I love about it. It is a little bit long on the edge, like right here. It does have a little bit of an overlap, but what you can do is you can just stuff it down there. Anyway, that's going to be another point to the Disney Store. Next up, we are going to be looking at the face sculpt. Now, this face sculpt, the head sculpt is pretty good. It's pretty decent, but the face on this Woody just looks creepy. The facial tone looks too weird compared to this one. This one looks like Woody's actual skin. This just looks weird. I don't know. It just doesn't match Woody's actual skin color and tone. And this one has blush on it, which I kind of like, but Woody doesn't really have that much blush, as you can see from the movie. But honestly, I do like the blush, but this just, Woody's face sculpt looks awkward. It has like one eye is like squinting and the other's open. They're looking off to the side. The eyebrows are basically the same as this one, except flip-flopped. And the mouth is definitely could be better. It just looks too toothy. So I'm going to give another point, a 3 sweep, to the Disney Store. Next, we can look at the hands. Now, the newer Thinkway hands are all closed like this, but this right here, this Thinkway one, is actually open, and I think it matches a better skin tone, even though I said this one looks awkward compared to this one. I actually, when putting it to the Toy Story Collection Woody, I feel like this matches the skin tone better, and that's supposed to be the movie accurate Woody, so I'm gonna go with this hand. They're basically the same hand sculpt. They're just different skin tone, and I think this skin tone would match better with that, but with this Toy Story Collection. It's kind of weird saying that this has the same as this, but I think the hands is a better paint job than this compared to this, where this is better. I don't know, but it seems way better, honestly, on this one. But actually, I think I'm going to give the point to Disney Store because it's a Disney Store. That's the one that everybody uses on their hand swap. So I'm going to go with Disney Store for 4, and a clean sweep of 4 so far here in this matchup. Next, we're going to go up to bat the hat. So let's look at the hat. So first of all, this hat looks much better. This one has like a weird paint job on the ring around the hat. This one's actually molded, which is more attention to detail. And the wire around there just looks like it's sticking out too much, and it doesn't really work. But this is going to be really close because this one is super heavy, and listen to this. Like, it's very heavy compared to this one where it's super light. It makes a click sound, not a thud sound, which I think, honestly, this one looks better, but this one has a better, like, lightweightness to it. But I guess I'm going to give this one to 1995, 1999, I'm not sure which one, because it has the Spurs. Woody to it. Actually, this is a very hard decision. I'm going to go with this hat because it looks better. It's a fun hat. It does kind of have a bendy texture, rubbery texture to it. But that doesn't really matter. I just like the look of this one. Looks matter on this and not really how they feel, because it doesn't really, we don't know how Woody's hat feels in the movie. So anyway, that's going to be it for that round. Disney Store wins. Next up, we are going to switch these around, and we are going to look at the badge. Now, this badge does look a bit wonky. It's like, it says sheriff, but it's like a blocky, like weird, not like an actual sheriff star. It just looks like a star you'd see in the sky. Whereas this one actually looks like a sheriff badge. So I'm going to give this, and the sheriff font on here is way better. I don't know if you can see it, but it does say sheriff on there, and this font doesn't look exactly as good as this. And this one, like, actually can spin. Actually, I think this one can spin too, but that's not the point. I think Disney Store wins this round fair and square with 6 points. The original hasn't gotten that much yet, but he will get points later on. Next up, we have the buttons. Now, these buttons on Disney Store are just plastic. They aren't really, like, have a finish to them. They're just basic plastic hollow buttons that can spin. They aren't really sewed on, I think they're just latched on or something. But the buttons on here are very cheap, I think. So I'm going to say that these are much better. They have like a finish, and the ring around them looks more realistic. Like the silver lining looks more realistic. To where here it's just flat and not textured and just a little plastic painted piece, where this is like actually shiny and looks like real buttons. So this is going to be a quick one. This is going to be going the first point to the original. Next up are the jeans. Now, these jeans are very fake. They are like the fakest of the fake jeans. They just have texture, but they just feel like cloth. They don't feel like actual jeans. And it just printed on. It doesn't even feel like jeans. Come on now. It's just, they didn't even try replicating it. It's just cloth with jean texture to it. Basically that. But these, on the other hand, actually have actual, like, feeling to them. They actually feel like real denim, and they look like real denim because they have, like, the dots and the gradient, which is really good. So I'm going to give this next point to Disney Store. Next up, we are going to look at the boots. Now, the boots on here they don't have Andy on the bottom of the boot, which if we were getting them, like, as Andy's toy, if we were buying them from the store or getting them from mail in, we would probably get one without the boot, without that on it. But I do like the signature on the bottom of the boot because I feel like that is more movie accurate. Like, if you were going to have the Woody that Andy owns, then I think that's going to be better for you. So these are really chunky to go with the body size of this, but the more movie accurate boot is probably going to be this, and these are more tall like the movie, and they have cactus detail, and these just feel rubbery. These feel like they're like actual ragdoll material, and it has Bonnie under the boot, and it has a flat bottom to the boot, where this is just has Thinkway printed on it. It's like squishy. So anyway, this next point is going to be going to Disney Store again. Next up, we're going to look at the Spurs. So the Spurs. Now these Spurs do not look much different, but if you were to tell you which one sticks out more and is more like the movie, because it sticks out more than this one, like in the movie it sticks out more than this. Neither of these Spurs are really movie accurate that much, but this one looks just like stuck on there. This actually looks like it's like a little bit more like the movie because it's longer. And in the movie still you can see that it's sticking out because I did my research before this video and I compared the two so we could just showcase these guys. Anyway, that's going to be a really quick one. That's going to go definitely, most definitely, to the Disney Store. Next up, we're going to look at the proportions. Now, this guy, I've already talked about it, is very chunky. He's a very chunky Woody doll. I'm not saying that. It's just like me basically saying it's like overly padded and it doesn't look like Woody. It looks kind of fat. So I'm just saying this Woody looks a little bit bigger than in the movie. So I'm going to say that Disney Store obviously right off the bat looks totally better. It's much slimmer like the movie. They actually got the body size right on here. So definitely going to go to the Disney Store. Next up, we are going to do the pull string phrases. So next up, we are going to be, this is going to be one of the last ones. So here is the Toy Story 4 with these phrases. It's basically very Toy Story 4-ish.
Trash? No, you're not going to the trash. Yeah, okay, all right, okay, that is enough. What? No, you can't go. Forky! I gotta get Forky. What are you doing out here? Oh, no, we can't stay. Okay, gotta get back. How do I get back? Operation Pull Toy. Hang on, little guy. Gotcha. Everyone, this is Forky. Trash? No,
Anyway, that's going to be it for him. He has more quantity of phrases, but not that good quality. That rhymes, doesn't it? Anyway, this next one actually has some phrases from the movie.
Howdy, partner. My name's Woody. You're my favorite deputy. Yee-haw, cowboy. There's a snake in my boots.
Now, this one has more quality phrases because it says there's a snake in my boot, yeehaw, and you're my favorite deputy. So it says more phrases from the movie. If you were to pull a real Woody doll string, this would be it. So that's going to be the point for the original Woody. We're getting to the home stretch. Now we're going to compare the length of the pull string. So here we go. Woody pull string length comparison. So here's this one compared to, oh jeez, I can't do this. You can pull this one. As you can see, the pull string on the 1999 Woody is definitely better Woody long. It's more like the movie because in the movie you can see his pull string goes like almost like 3 feet. Not even like 3 feet, like more than that. It's really long in the movie and it's like slow to retract. So I'm going to say that this guy has his third point. And next up, the final round is the bandana. Now this bandana is really dark. It definitely sticks out more than this Woody, but I feel like this is too dark and too faded. Well, it is an old toy, but honestly, it looks too dark. It looks more like a cherry, and this one looks like actually like the movie. So, and this one has like a longer, and I really like the bandana on this one. So I'm going to give the final point to Disney Store Woody as his 11th points. So, time to tally up the points. Now, on here it says that we have 11 Disney Store points and original only has 3, okay? So, it's going to be posted on the screen, and it's going to be 11 to 4. I know. 3. Anyway, it is a very, very clean sweep by Disney Store. If you're going to look for money to save your money, then this is definitely going to be the Woody for you, because this Woody can go for super expensive. So I was lucky enough to get him for $30, but that's what it is. If you want to save money, but you don't want to buy the signature collection, which is probably going to cost more than this. Actually, maybe not, since this is old toy. But honestly, I think that is going to wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.